now we're going to have a system of inequalities. The first one here, which I will shade in blue, is going to have a negative 2 y-intercept and a slope of 1/3, up 1 and over 3. Notice how equality is included, so this will end up being a solid line. And the second equation, which I'm going to shade in red, is going to have a y-intercept of negative 4, and the slope is going to be 1. There's a 1 in front of that x, so up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. You can see where they're going to intersect there. And there we go. Now, we're shading above the blue, but below the red, which gives us a region of solutions right there. And the point where they intersect at 3, -1 is part of the solution set. In this next problem, we have a parabola with a y-intercept of 7, so it's going to be up just above my graph there, and that negative tells me it's opening downward, so down 1 over 1, I'm going to go over 2 and down 4, get a couple more points right there, and so boom, here is our parabola, and the less than or equal to means it is a solid curve, and we are shading below it. Y equals negative x plus 5 has a y-intercept at 5 here. It goes down 1 over 1, and so I think we can see where the boundaries are going to be for that one. And y greater than 1 gives us a dashed line boundary just above the x-axis there. The solution region is where I'm shading it here, below the line. However, we have to watch carefully with these intersection points. We do include the intersection points that are on the diagonal line, but we do not include, and so I'll highlight these open circles, we do not include those intersection points that are on the dashed line. Okay, we have a word problem which will let you read if you want to pause it really quickly. Sierra will put at least 6 country songs on the playlist. That means country, which is x, must be greater than or equal to 6. Continuing on here. Part B. Sierra will put no more than 10. That means y will be less than or equal to the 10. If the playlist can have at most 20 songs, that means x plus y must be less than or equal to 20. And if the country songs, that's x, cannot be negative, that means that x must be greater than or equal to 0. And if the same thing is true for part E, then y must be greater than or equal to 0 also. Quite often in these problems we see these two clues together, which basically tell us we're going to be in quadrant 1, and that's why down below I only have the first quadrant drawn. Okay, now we need to actually draw in these equations. I do know from the first one, part A, that x is going to be greater than or equal to 6. So I'm going to draw this diagonal line in there. Or not diagonal, that's a vertical line at 6. I do know that y is less than or equal to 10. So that gives me a horizontal line. I'm going to have a diagonal line. If I take part C here and rearrange it to y is less than or equal to negative x plus 20, that tells me I'm going to have another line that has a y-intercept at 20 with a slope of -1. That's just going to cut down here through our quadrants. And we are going to have a solution region which is down below here. And I probably should draw the x-axis in as part of it. And let's identify these vertices. We have 6, 0 on the bottom left. We have 6, 10 on the top left. We will have 10, 10 up there on the top right. And down on the bottom right we will have 20, 0.